Hello, hello, America.
America.
I am nobody who's somebody, Penelope.
And I'm Kevin Johnson, here to give you just one man's opinion, and welcome
to Unsolicited Advice.
Yeah. We're gonna work on the sound effects. We're gonna work on those, all right? But me and Penelope here again, just to give you guys, our perspective on some of the hot topics going on in society. And before we get into those topics, we're gonna start each episode just like we normally do. We're gonna go to the word. And this verse today, the reading comes from the book of Acts, chapter 1, verse 14. Okay? And it reads, "They all joined together constantly in prayer, along with the women and Mary, the mother of Jesus, and with his brothers." You know what I'm saying? So we all got to come together sometimes and put them hands together. That MC Hammer, I said we pray. Pray!
Or DMX, Lord, give me a sign!
Let me know what's on your mind. Definitely, we want to definitely give a shout out to DMX, man. He was definitely one of my favorite rappers. And of course, everybody's saying it now on Facebook. Everybody putting up how much they love DMX. But some of it's got to be true, man, because, I feel like people have a purpose, and in his purpose, he touched people. You know what I'm saying? Whether he died, I know some people are saying it wasn't really an overdose, but whether he died from that, it still shine light that there are people we have who are family members who aren't DMX, who aren't famous, who are also suffering as well, man. And they have, whether it's crack, heroin, or pills, opioids, man, we got somebody who's struggling. Hopefully that through DMX death, you decided to check on them and look at them in a different light.
Yeah, he had said that he don't go to awards and stuff like that. He was like, because I'll be sitting there. But this person came up to them and they got 3 kids and lost 2 out of their 3. And it was like, he was the reason why they was getting out of bed, and it kind of threw him because he was like, you would think that one child that's alive, and he was like, so that means that fulfilled his purpose.
Right.
Because he's like, you think that this child, but her grief was so overwhelmed, but his words is what gave her strength to face, day after day after day, to where, she resonated, within herself to keep pushing. And that's what give him, he said, that's the best award than me to be sitting in the chair.
Right.
Getting
that's
an
real.
award.
That's
so,
real
yeah,
right there, man. So in today's episode, we want to talk a little bit about, since, the media nowadays pushes everything, it seems like, as a tragedy. And we are so much more exposed to stuff, I feel like, than when I was a kid growing up. Mm-hmm. Like, the censors as far as what could be shown on TV was so much tighter then. Like, if somebody called somebody, a mother, MF, and they'll be like, you're such a cheesehead. It'll be a whole other voice describing it, man. And now I feel like
they used to have the 2 separate beds, or you never saw them in the laundry. The blanket be all the way up here.
Yeah, part of this, I feel like part of this, this society, I guess, push the boundaries as far as what's shown on TV, has also desensitized us as a nation to the events that are going on. You know what I'm saying? Every day. It seems like it's a new tragedy. It's like the news is waiting on the new tragedy, and everyone is on it right now. You know what I mean? I feel like now that the Chauvin trial is done, like everyone's going after, right now the shooting in Columbus, and just police brutality. The next thing is going to be the border wall. Now everything is a tragedy. And how do we deal with it? I feel like we're just so desensitized.
Should we in a pandemic?
It takes away from the human. It's still. We're all humans in this pandemic. You know what I mean? So how do we deal with? I watch the news a lot, and sometimes it does keep me up at night that there's so much tragedy and terrible stuff in the world. But other people are looking at it like, it's another day. You know what I mean?
Right.
I feel like I almost feel like I'm a lost dinosaur. I'm the last of the dinosaurs who are, I guess, I'm more empathetic than others.
Mm-hmm.
I feel stuff. Like, I mean, personally, when the Chauvin verdict came down, I cried. You know what I'm saying? I shed a tear because, I mean, I've had a cousin who was killed by an off-duty officer. An off-duty officer still got away with it. You know what I mean? So, I mean, to me, it's a major deal. But there are going to be some in our generation who didn't experience the Rodney King trial where everybody got off, or stuff like. I mean, if you haven't heard the name Rodney King or Malice Green, that means that you are unaware that there's been police violence since the 90s, since before then. I mean, the 90s is when I came in. Clearly, there was some before then. In fact, I saw a meme that said the only difference between George Floyd and the Rodney King is that they had better footage on the George Floyd video. And that's tough. That's tough to digest, that it's just so commonplace for, people to be.
Yeah, stuff been happening. It's just that people got cameras now.
Yeah, I mean.
They'll flip it out in a minute. But then, people are desensitized to that. Like,
I mean, even to the mass shootings. There's so many mass shootings now. It's almost like another mass shooting. Each mass shooting should be a major tragedy. And I mean, I feel like there should be movement in every city that it is. I mean, what was it with the kid? There's a kid who just shot 8 people. And it's like this. That's not a call to action enough for us to be like, hey, look, we got to do something about these guns.
Well,
the country itself is like, hey, it's just a mass shooting. There's crazy people out here.
Well, yeah, you had talked about that, on the Facebook, and I had said, lock up all the guns, and you was like, that's gonna go against people. But my thing is, I feel like if you made everybody put their guns down for a whole year, that maybe that would change stuff. That might make other people get heated and stuff. But you got countries where they don't deal with guns.
Most countries don't have as many guns as we have. Only the military has guns. But not Detroit. United States empowers people with the Second Amendment right. And the argument I said on Facebook was, she was talking about take the guns away. I'm like, there's going to be people who will say, this is the biggest argument that they have. If you take away our guns, the bad guys aren't going to give away their guns. So now you just got a nation of bad guys with guns.
No, they going to get spotted and they going away.
How? You going to go up in their house? You can't go up in their house and say, give me all your guns.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
That's what I mean.
I don't know. Knock on everybody's door. You got some guns? We coming to collect. We gonna put them in this box. Here's your ticket number. In 12 months, you come pick it up.
What incentive can you offer someone to give up their assault rifle? Let's say somebody paid $500 for this assault rifle, and you come as a government agent. You know what I'm saying? I'm Penelope. We are, we're here to get all the guns.
Because we want people to stop dying.
So what will be the penalty? So because you either have to offer penalty.
You going to jail.
Going to jail for what? Having a gun?
Because now it's temporarily banned. So it's temporary illegal. So if you have it, you're gonna get a felony. And if you got a clean record, are you really gonna mess your life up for just putting your gun up for 12 months? Come on now. Mm-hmm. And that's it, and that can make a social global, movement so people can stop dying.
I honestly think it's more of an American problem. I mean, most countries do not have as much gun violence as us, and that's because of our Second Amendment right to bear rights, which is why people love it so much. And they'll let me tell you something. There are some places where I wouldn't dare go. I mean, I made that scenario, talk about you, more so you probably thought about in the hood. Would you go to Howell, Michigan? And knock, yeah, exactly, and knock on the door and ask them for their guns? Hell no. Because you ain't stupid. So it's hard, man. I mean, I feel like just a nation, we just have to. It has to be some humanity in it, and that's why I feel like the world actually celebrated on the Chauvin case, which is how big it is. I mean, it's hard to put it in perspective, right now because we're only a day after, 2 days after. I mean, depending on when you all see this video, a couple weeks after,
right?
But the world saw like we were seeing as inhumane. So as a world, we saw they're sensitive. You know what I'm saying? They're like, hey, look here. I mean, we enjoy black people and black culture. Stop killing them.
So at the end of the day, I don't know, cease and desist. But we need to find our purpose in this world. What are we really trying to accomplish, in life? People's lives should mean something, not just your immediate family, the world.
Not even just their lives. I mean, not only their lives. I mean, I get that, but also their values too. I mean, not everyone's going to have the same wishes and the viewpoints as you do. There are going to be people with different religions than you. There will be people who choose not to follow any religion. There's going to be people who are more giving. There's going to be people who are more taking, man. Respected. I mean, everybody's on this spectrum, and we all here. I don't care if you look at it as the Big Bang Theory. Like we have this little possibility to be on this little planet out of this entire galaxy. You know what I'm saying? Or you made it out of 500,000 sperms. You made it to be here. So, you know what I'm saying? Let's celebrate this life. Take advantage while you can and do the best you can to make it better for not just yourself and for other people, though. You know what I'm saying? We got to get away from this, on our own, desensitized, stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little bit saying I'm about to go and eat some of this food, man. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Chef P, tell them what we got here,
All right, so real potatoes, not no potato flakes in the box. So, you peel your potatoes, you cut them up, boil them. Sometimes I boil it in, stock or whatever. I didn't have milk, so I use almond milk to, make it, creamy. And then,
does almond milk make it creamier?
Well, I mean, it's a lubricant, so I'm saying it's not whole milk or whatever. But, if somebody, vegan or something like that, they probably would use almond milk. But I didn't have, because I'm lactose intolerant, so I usually don't have a lot of milk on me. Mm-hmm. So I use the almond milk and then butter, salt and pepper, spinach, just some lemon and pepper, and some butter. Try to keep it simple. I ain't want no meat today.
Word, you know what I'm saying? And then this will be cool. So that way when you go to the cookout or the potluck, go ahead and follow Chef P's recipe. And that way you count. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to just bring plates and ice. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be known as that person where they were like, hey, look here. You tell Gerald he got to bring napkins. We don't want none of this food. So be sure to go ahead and tune into the end of the episode and see what's going on and check out Chef P's recipe for this delicious non-meat spinach and potatoes. Oh yeah, this is good.
Woo.
All right.
So what's your purpose, man?
My purpose is to be a light, man. I'm gonna be a light, and I'm gonna be better than most people you've experienced because I can be, and I can be more compassionate. And just show you that, there are people like that in this world. That's my purpose.
I gotta find mine again. My purpose before was being a mama.
Your kid is grown. Your kid is grown.
So I gotta find a new purpose. What do Penelope want? I don't know. I don't know nothing but being a mama. I was a loss. Lord, give me a sign like DMX said.
Lord, give me a... Shout out again to DMX. Rest in heaven.
Rest in peace. Rest in power.
This is this week's episode of Next Week Tonight. We'll catch you all next week. Peace.
Bon appetit.